Well, congrats, man. It's good to see you, my friend. It's good to see you, buddy. You got a new job.
I do. It's weird to, sit here and talk about me having a job and not be in a baseball uniform.
Because you still are in baseball.
I still am in baseball. I'm still training. I'm still trying to throw. It's not that things are going bad. They're just not going up to my standards. And as you know, I've always had my hands in other things off the field. This opportunity here at Dobson Ranch came about, and I have taken a gig with them as their new creative director of golf and community events. Swag, coolness. We could go. I kind of have the realm to call it whatever I want, to be honest.
No tie?
No tie.
No tie.
There is some, I wouldn't say dress codes, just etiquette. Yeah. There's, out here we're about respecting the game, and so you can kind of come and go as you please, wear what you want, just respect the course and respect the game.
What are you most looking forward to about this new job in a sense?
Man, you know me, it's always been about the community. Yeah. That's where I think this job starts with, is a testament to the people here, the way I treated them, the way they treated me. The whole goal of this is to bring people to golf and to golf at Dobson. Dobson already, we'll go through it later on, but the footprint here, the course, the driving range, the setup, I don't know how much info I can give. We just got an 18-hole putting course approved.
They're about the people, and you're about
the people. And when you think about your career and the opportunity I had to truly make an impact off the field, even though I'm not done yet, it's really easy to look at my post-career, and home is here. I mean, we've talked about it. I just moved here. My wife and I, thank God, she's a great woman, told us, hey, let's get you back to Arizona where you belong, where you need to be. And since then, things like this have just started to take off.
Yeah. And that's the best part. This has always been kind of a second home for you. Coming home is, in a sense, right?
I would say it is number one home. I mean, Oklahoma is where I was born and raised, always be where my heart is, but this in-between time I've had, Cam, I grew up out here. I mean, I was drafted at 18, young. I mean, I still had an accent then. I mean, you can go back and look at those early videos, and your boy had a little twang in his words. So here we are at 31.
Clean shave back then. Man, you got gray in the beard, I see.
I always like.
That's what happens when you get north of 30, my friend.
We're calling me out already. We're gonna cut that. That's a little too comfortable right there.
Gotcha,
no, we don't have to cut that. I say this is earned.
Yeah, sure.
The salt and pepper or red and pepper, I don't even know what you'd call it. But, getting back to what you said, it's about the community here. I feel so ingrained in this place. East side, west side, north to south, above the 101, all the way down to Auction. Get me to Tucson at U of A. I just thrive in this place, man. I can't explain it. The sun hits you here. The heat doesn't bother me. I love it. And again, I was talking about it. I did something here, and I mean this in the most humble, respectful way, but I was able to do something here that is paying dividends, whether I'm gonna throw another pitch in my life or not. And to be able to come back here and continue to build on the vision and what I had started here as a baseball player, and continue that as a human, a golfer, an entrepreneur, a designer. Again, kind of joking, but again, I really do have some freedom and a chance here to do some really cool stuff that I'm really excited and proud of.
And what do you hope the community gets out of this? Just
involvement. Yeah. Again, a sense of seeing someone who was given an opportunity has made the most of it, and who's bought in. Again, I just read the freaking thing today about the Coyotes, and as a fan, you're supposed to feel these things inside. Like seeing that land isn't going up for auction, and the Coyotes are basically done here, and NHL and Arizona is in jeopardy. Like, it bothers me. I'm a Arizona fan, and the Suns and their early exit, and I just, I can't get away from it. I got traded, was away for a little bit, and it's not that you try to move on, but you do. It's a business, and it was very evident that I couldn't leave this place, and this is a place I needed to get back to and make home.
So you're getting healthy, is that right? You were injured?
I'm healthy. It's not that I'm not healthy. It's just, I kind of give this analogy a lot in your field. It'd like you be going to interview a guy that is a huge piece for you, and little about him. You don't have your mics, and you have a camera guy, but you need three. Sure. I just know that what I'm capable of is not what I'm producing right now. And I told myself at the end of last year that I'm not going to go through another season of mediocrity. Like, I'm a true professional, and if I'm not able to pitch at the highest level, and it doesn't necessarily mean even in the big leagues, but to myself, being healthy, being able to go home at night and sleep and enjoy my life the way I want to, baseball's not everything. Like we talked about, I've always seen baseball as a vehicle to just get me to my next thing. I'm not going to be a Hall of Famer. I was never an All-Star. It's not what it's about for me. I've enjoyed every second of my career. I wouldn't take back anything because, again, I'm sitting here talking about taking a job at a golf course right now. It's just how
you're living the dream, Art, is what you're trying to say.
Like I said, there's still bills that need to be paid. So, again, not that no one feels sorry that I'm not playing. In the best way, I am blessed, I'm healthy, my parents are alive, I've got a great wife, Crash is still doing great. You'll see him out here soon. This place is dog friendly, by the way. Again, just I'm happy. Life is rolling. Don't need to be playing baseball to enjoy yourself. And again, I'm getting a chance to still be involved in this community, in this state, and that's what I'm most excited about, bringing in people from this city, this state, and people from out of state. I think since I've taken this job, I've probably received 30 to 40 different DMs and emails about people telling me stories way back, still in golf carts from here, learning their first time to swing a club.
It's an old golf course in the heart of Mesa, yeah.
It's in the heart of Mesa. It's an old city course. It's a ton of history that is bringing a fresh new look to the golf game.
Yeah, and you get to be a part of that.
I get to be a huge part of it, man. I'm nervous as hell. I'm going to be honest. Like, we'll go through it. I do.
Director. I mean, this
title. I'm planning shoots. I'm bringing in talent. I'm going to be planning tournaments, events. We'll go in there and you'll get to see the pre. But we're about to rip that whole pro shop down, completely redesign it. Again, you just look at the steps of my career and you go from the pre-beard, baby face, no swag, baggy uniform. I get hit, things change, kind of go to the pin, tighter uniform, swaggy cleats, big beard, tight haircut. You could just see this trend, So here we are, and yeah, I'm getting to choose what brands we're bringing in. I'm getting to choose what partners and advertisements, and in a really quick way, I'm getting thrown into the other side of the business world, and it's just unique and it's cool, and I'm super appreciative.
We used to joke about Archie's adventures. That was like a thing. We did segments on it, where you were going here, and this is kind of the next one, right?
It is. This is the next big adventure. I hope that this relationship continues here at Dobson, but I hope this opens the doors for other courses in the Valley, other courses in different states, and they really get to see my passion and what I would say is levelness. I understand that I'm a pro player and I've made some cash here and there, but I'm no different than you. I'm no different than these people back here hitting balls off the mats. And
I mean, not everybody hit a triple in a wild card
that's
playoff
true.
game.
Actually, there's only one. Let's make that. If I'm gonna brag,
I just say,
if I'm gonna brag, there's only one person that's ever done that in the history of baseball, in the history of the world. So Josh Rawitch, we need to get that bat in Cooperstown, okay? Only reliever in the history of baseball. Yeah. So,
but I see what you're saying. It's you can enjoy things just like everybody else.
Yeah,
can.
and I don't need.
And this is your community just as much as everybody else's.
I think that's what I vibe with the most. Yeah. And since even being out here, the few times since I've started, I've had a few older gentlemen, younger guys come up and thank me for taking this job, and I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, man, this place means a lot to us. And for you to come in and be here and put your touch on it. And it's a city course. It's open to the public. There's going to be, we'll get into it. There's a lot to talk about, but I'm just extremely grateful. And we talked about it, not playing right now, but to have these things come up and be able to take them and run with them, it's cool.
All right, so last year, AAA, obviously you were hurt or things weren't going well. Yeah. You weren't happy. Coming back here was an idea to get happier?
Yeah, it was my wife, again, great woman. You always, not just saying that. It's, I got hurt again. Everyone knows about breaking my elbow. If you haven't, look it up. It's the worst thing ever. Like, gosh, man. Like,
just trying to help a teammate
out. It's literally screwed me over right now. But hey, things happen for a reason. We'll we don't get bitter, we get better. Yeah. So, yeah, the arm break, up and down last year with the Marlins, velo up and down, and just a lot of inconsistency. And again, I think some of the best baseball players are true, honest self-evaluators, and I was able to look myself in the mirror and just dude, I'm not good enough right now. Sitting at the end in AAA last year at the end of the season, I was throwing 90, 92 with no breaking ball. You know, you've seen me pitch. You've seen me touch triple digits a few times.
It's not what you used to do.
It's just not what I used to do, and it's not that it's like, oh, I can't throw hard, so I'm done. I need to take a step back. I need to look at why am I not throwing hard? Why am I not producing at a level that I used to produce at? And again, we're still trying to figure that out, you know?
So this is still work in progress.
Still work in progress. I'm at Driveline. I'm trying to throw hard. I'm working with a few other people. Andrew Hauser used to be a PT for the D-backs. I'm seeing him. You know, it's not that I'm not putting all my eggs in the baseball basket, because I am, but when it's not working and you're not throwing hard, you know, you just have to be honest with yourself. And again, I'm not quitting, I'm not retiring. We're trying to figure it out.
And then coming back here provided maybe a sense of normalcy back into life,
yes.
right?
Well, so everyone knows about the Open. I mean, the Waste Management, the People's Open.
You went back to the Open and you were like,
I'm home. If they would have, I probably could have jumped in the pond there and not got arrested. I think Scottsdale PD owes me one or two, you know? But I got reconnected with some Thunderbirds. I got reconnected with some people, Derek Hall being one of them. I even got offered before this job a few other jobs at the Open. An insurance company, a jet company, D-Hall. You know, I came and called some games in spring for the D-backs, and it was just very relevant. Not even relevant, it was a feeling. And just being back here, man, I talk chills to my skin. I just can't explain the aura and the vibe and this magnet that truly I feel this force that I need to be here, that there is bigger and better things for me to be doing here. And the Open was just the nail in the, you know, just set it off. Like, all right, boom. I called my wife. I said, hey, we need to sit down and talk. I think we need to buy a home here. And she's like, okay, let's talk. So we came out here. We went and sat down at Sizzle. I love Korean barbecue. Sat down at Sizzle, we've got meat rolling, just my favorite meal, rice and my soup, and we took a little cheers. We did a little shot of Sapporo, or a little sake bomb Sapporo, and we said, hey, we're moving back to Scottsdale.
Okay.
And here we are. It's, I don't even know what, May, June? Are we in June?
Yeah,
I don't even.
We're in June.
I'm not playing ball, so I have no clue what we're here.
All-Star break is next month.
Exactly. Cattell Marte, come on.
Yeah.
He's having a heck of a
Christian
season. Christian, my mom, we were just talking about, she goes, did Christian Moore get traded? I said, no, he's hitting homers like crazy. He might get traded.
No,
we'll see.
he better not.
I know
he better
no,
not.
I don't want him to. I'm just saying.
Sure.
Seawalk's dropping bombs. Marte, again, just, he's a freak, man. I love that guy. So I'm still keeping up with my guys, especially here in Arizona. You know, if I'm not going to play, let's be a part of that train still. It's not, there's no, you know, getting traded is part of the business. There's no personal feelings. That's the way it always works. Again, I'm just happy to be back here and have an opportunity to still be involved. Yeah. So even that, you know, even coming in or going into the rest of this year, I would love to be able to get out there, do some TV stuff there, and see where it takes me.
All right, my photographer needs some new shoes. You see that? He needs
we can definitely.
You have 17.
Are those Brooks?
You have,
He's on that Greinke swag. He's on that Greinke swag, you know.
Why do you have so many shoes at home? How does your wife let you keep all them shoes?
The shoes is just, I think, so I just sold some. If anyone's followed, I just sold about 60 pairs. I think this is signs of growing up. When you take out a couple pairs of shoes and you look at the price tag of them and you realize that's a patio table, that's a chaise lounge, which we talked about, patio furniture. Crazy, bro. So yeah, you know, I would assume that's part of growing up is, all right, let's turn these 3 pairs of shoes into a patio table and a chaise lounge. And
a Christmas gift, a Valentine's Day gift, anniversary gift.
And then also, you know, you've got to see it. I love shoes. I love fashion. I'm not sitting here saying I have the most fashion. I know I do some cheesy, corny outfits sometimes, but I think I've got some pretty good swag. Yeah. Again, that's what I'm talking about is cool. I get to take the brands that I believe in. Sure. I mean, one of them I'm wearing now, not just to shout them out, but this Bad Birdie stuff, you know. I get to bring in brands that I believe in that have a story. A lot of them, not all of them, are AZ-based. Devro, Bad Birdie here. And again, I get to bring in what I think is cool about AZ is it's this huge melting pot. The people that are from here, you have to cherish them and hold on to them because there's not a lot of them. And again, we are growing as a community, as a fan base that I just want to help continue to push and be a part of.
Man, dude, let's go through some of your D-back memories real quick, all right? When you got hit in the face.
It's funny, she's here. My mom was working in California. She was actually seeing Adrian Hauser pitch in High A in the Cal League. I got drilled. And the one thing I remember most, 2-0 curveball, Carlos Gonzalez, terrible pitch. Smack, woke up. I knew it happened, but I didn't think I got knocked out. Yeah. And boy, did I got knocked out cold.
Face was like a softball size.
Face was huge.
Yeah.
I just remember my mouth being so swollen, and I just remember, call my mom. Call my mom.
Okay, right?
I just,
okay,
because,
right?
you know, I can only imagine as a parent seeing your kid get hit like that. But mom came out, drank milkshakes for a couple weeks, and that wasn't why I started the beard, but the beard, it actually didn't start till next year.
Yeah.
But
you had to do something different, right?
Had to do
Because
something
starting, you were a starter your whole life, and you were good at it
and
to a
honestly,
point.
even,
But the bullpen seemed to fit you better because you always pitch with a lot of emotion.
But like analytically and statistically, you look at my 2016 season, it wasn't as bad as my 5.2 ERA, 5.02 ERA. I was 8-9 with 148 strikeouts over 140 innings. I made 18 straight starts. You know, I really started to turn the curve. I cut my walk rate down. I was really excited to start the next year, but you know me, I don't care. I'm such a team guy. Shelby, Corby, they had their thing. They were 4 and 5. I went to the pen, and yeah, you know, within 2 weeks, I was throwing the 7th and 8th. It was crazy. I was throwing 97, 98 again.
And were you okay with that at the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was still, even though I had started the last year, I still hadn't established myself. I still did not, to myself, think I was a consistent big leaguer.
Or like earn the right
Yes.
to kind of call those shots.
Yeah, to be like, no, I'm staying in the rotation.
Yeah.
Nah, Corby and Shelby are making $5 million each that year. Like, I'm on minimum, I'm expandable, I have options still. Hey, you're gonna go to the pen. I was like, let's make the most of it. I don't care. I just wanna be on the big league team. I don't wanna be in AAA anymore. I don't wanna be going up and down. You know, you got a taste of it.
They fixed the stuff in
Exactly,
minor
but I got a taste of it in 15, got sent back down to start that year. In 16, started the year in AAA, finished the rest of the year in the big leagues, and I was like, I don't care. I'm not going to AAA. Yeah. And whatever role it was, and then from there, you know, I wish sometimes I'd have been a little more picky or put my foot down with like, no, I'm going to be the closer. You look at money to be made, but that's just not me. Sure. Whatever role, yeah, it did, and that's what I mean. So, you know, people, you hear stories about guys, and sure, they may have got paid more than I did. They may have had better careers, but I don't regret any of the decisions that led me to where I am today. Yeah. So,
how often do people come up to you and ask about that triple?
Fortunately, I mean, I feel like it's overplayed to my friends and stuff, but that's about the first thing that gets brought up every time. And I don't hate it. You know, again, it's not that I'm a one-trick pony, but
the building shook. That was the loudest I'd heard Chase Field in a very long time.
Just on a deeper level, you think about that moment. It's Luis Gonzalez winning the World Series for us. Depending on who you talk to, my triple and then this World Series run the last year.
The 4 home runs and an inning.
4 home runs for sure.
Those are probably the loudest 3 moments in Chase Field.
If JD's 4 homers in LA had been at home, that was a pretty special one. But yeah, you know, that 4-homer game in the playoffs, the World Series run after really, I mean, we talked about it, the D-backs kind of really being pretty mediocre that year and what it had been since I got traded. So yeah, to see that I'm still in such D-backs history and moments, and people see me all the time, the bobblehead, you know, and the call from Schulte, and again, you know, shout out to Schulte, you know, great career. But yeah, it just, again, it's cool for me because I feel like I worked so hard to bring us together as a fan base and the community and what I did. And so to have a moment like that, again, to speak humbly, immortalizes me in D-back history. I still think maybe down the road there should be a statue somewhere of it. You know, that
they have room at
the pointing of me into, it's kind of iconic there. We did. But that moment, man, again, my parents, to have them there, and that was the whole reason I pointed. I'm so jealous of position players. They get to swag out and point and do cool stuff that you can't do on the mound. So to slide into third base and see my mom and my family and all them right there was just, hey, there they are.
Now, were you supposed to swing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the best.
When did they tell you?
I had green light the whole time.
Okay. Did Tori say anything to you?
No. So the whole thing was. We'll tell the story. So yeah, I got moved to the pen. Yep. Was taking BP when I first started. Got moved to the 8th inning, 7th inning role. Tori called me and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I don't trust you. Don't take BP. You're gonna hurt yourself." Which down the road we see some of my injuries. Maybe, you know, some to it. But hey, don't take BP. You're not gonna hit. So okay. End of July, they call me in. We just left San Diego. We're coming back home, and they're like, "Hey, we need you to start taking batting practice again." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And they were like, dude, can you please be a professional? Like, let's take our time. First day, only take 10 swings. Don't try to hit homers. We're going to explain to you, we're in the playoffs. We're going to make the playoffs. Sure. The way you're pitching, we need you to be able to take an at-bat and go out for the next inning. So responsibly, please start getting ready to hit. We doubt it's going to,
Yeah.
Well, sure enough, last week of the season, I have an at-bat in San Diego. The situation happens. We're up by like 2. I was going to face the bottom, like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was going to roll 9-1-2, and then they wanted me to come back out and face 3-4-5, which I loved. It was awesome. So I got an at-bat in San Diego, first and second, 2 outs. First pitch, 95, rip one up the middle. Margot charges it, misplays it. I end up getting a single with an error.
That's okay.
No, it's not okay because I technically don't have an extra base hit in my career. You know that, right? I don't have an extra base hit. But either way, single, 2 RBIs. But it led to that moment against the Rockies. Torrey tells me, like, hey, less than 2 outs, I'm going to hit for you. We need. And Benny is like, well, just put your batting gloves on, be ready. And so inning starts going, first and second. I can't remember exactly. I think Mathis goes up with 1 out. I go out on deck. He's like, hey, if he gets on or hits, you're done. If he gets out, you're going up. And sure enough, I think Jeffy struck out or lined out. I look back and Torrey goes, green light. Like, hey, you can swing. I would have bet everything in my entire life I was going to swing at the first pitch. Pat Neshek, he was an all-star that year, a little funky sidearm guy.
Did the vision go from here to?
Oh, yeah. Lammer's on second, my best friend at the time. Not at the time, I mean, he's my best friend, best man in my wedding. Lammer's on second. I'm like kind of looking at him like, is he going to tell me anything? Have you picked the signs up yet? Like, first pitch, boom, ball 1. I'm like, oh crap, not only did I not swing, I just looked good taking it. Yeah. I get the 2-0, and then I get the take sign, which I understand. He throws 2-1, then I can swing again. He throws a borderline strike 2-1. It was a little cutter, curveball inside, 2-2. And then, yeah, man, I remember gosh, man, don't strike out. Just put the ball in play. Like, whatever you do, do not strike. It is, but like, I feel like I am good enough, athletic enough to put the ball in play. Grounder, whatever, dude. Like, hit it to Nolan, who's a million-time Gold Glover. Maybe he'll boot one of them. Just don't strike out. And then, yeah, man, I remember starting to swing, and you talk about remembering stuff. I just remember starting to swing, truly recognizing it was a breaking ball, and the iconic, like, knee drop almost touched the ground. And then what every hitter talks about feeling, like, I felt nothing when I hit the ball. I didn't think it was a homer, but I knew I hit it really well. They were played a little in. I saw the angle I hit it. I saw the trajectory, and yeah, I knew it was in the gap. It was like, dude, regardless of what happens on these bases, those 2 guys are scoring. I just gave us a 3-run lead. I just hit a, who knew triple at the time? Because if you look rounding, I'm look really good till I hit second base.
Then all of a sudden you could just
then
see
I start getting.
It's like the legs are trying to go. You're trying to get them to go faster.
Yeah, you see why I broke my arm later. Okay,
you came close to landing it.
I came close. The pop-up slide was nice, but.
You regained athletic. You regained your composure.
Popped up, got the point. But yeah, man, it was in the moment. And then again, you look back at it, Archie, the whole crowd, my teammates at the time, like you just look, Goldie, Pollock, Lammer, Seawalk, Marte, everyone was on, Torrey, Mac, Perez Chica, Robbie Hammock, just all these guys that not only loved me, but made fun of me for who I was in the best way, were just like, no way, Archie.
They would always give you a hard time for the beard, the adventures, right? And then it was like, in the moment, Archie got it.
Yeah, he did.
And then forever, you could walk in that locker and be like, I told you guys so. Well, I told you.
It was a joke. My time with the Reds, my time with every team, Reds, Phillies, Angels, like those teams at the time hadn't been very playoff successful. And on those rosters, I had more playoff RBIs than a lot of those guys. It was my joke in Anaheim that at the time, I think still maybe, I had more playoff RBIs than Trout. Or we had the same. So that was a fun joke to be able to, hey guys, if you need Trouty, if you need to know playoff RBIs, let me know. I got you guys, okay?
You need the video?
It was kind of like those old stories of Greinke telling guys like, hey, let me talk to you about your swing. Like, if you need to know about playoff RBIs, your boys got you.
What's it like to watch that team now?
It's weird, but it's fun at the same time. because it's a lot of the same guys, a lot of the same coaches, few changes there's always going to be. Some of those coaches I had relationships with in the minors, so it's cool to see those guys in the big leagues contributing at the big league level, knowing
Torrey still, you know what I mean? Like
Torrey, and again, man, like
Walker's.
I'm learning that I'm in a weird position because I want to talk about some things, but I also know I can't say some things out of respect. But some things, you know, like Torrey was on the ropes last year, you know, and you make a big playoff World Series run and boom, you get an extension. That's what we were talking about this spring when I got to talk to him. And it's such a funny, fickle game that you're just happy to see guys succeed because it'll
like good people.
Good
like
people
Torrey,
that do it.
Walk, I mean,
not that some people,
yeah.
but there are people that are successful and don't do things quote unquote the right way. They get rewarded. So yeah, Walk. I mean, we could go all on about his minor league career and the first baseman in front of him, and even really until that 17 wild card where he was kind of an extra bat for us, and then we trade Goldie, and now he's a Gold Glover, going to be an All-Star. Like, I root for guys like him. I root for guys like Marte. I root for guys like Pavin Smith, who we drafted and you see as the future, and Corbin Carroll and these young guys, and getting hurt early and them overcoming it. And just cool to see these guys come to their own. Zachy become just an absolute ace. Merrill. Again, Merrill's a guy who gives me, you know, I think he's hurt right now, getting healthy, but Merrill's a guy who gives me hope. You know, got a lot more stuff than I do, but not the hardest thrower.
He had to go. He went overseas for 5 years.
Had to go overseas. And,
he was a 30-year-old rookie.
That's what I mean. You know, grinders.
Yeah.
And you build relationships. Like the runs we went on, that playoff run, those next couple of years making wild card races, we were the guys. So like we formed relationships that are more than just baseball. So I have a rooting deep interest in those guys being successful. One, for Arizona, but two, on a personal level. I you know, to get to see Zach start the All-Star game last year, like, it's just awesome. Yeah. You talk about a guy with some swag. Get Ohtani. I thought Merrill should have made it last year, you know, but we all have those stories. But to see some of these guys truly take off and garner national attention, again, I think in Arizona that's something we always struggle with, is competing with the big markets. And so always going to root for the guys here.
All right, we'll get you out here on this. I appreciate the time,
of course.
by the way. Let me pick your brain on all things. I think fans will really enjoy hearing from you. I think I've asked you this before. I know the answer. Are you going to shave the beard ever?
Yes. At some point. When it's going to happen, I don't know. I would like to think we'll wrap a charity aspect around it, or I'm in between. When you see me again, this probably will be touched up. I'm dyeing it now. Yeah. I don't like to tell people that at home, but
listen, we're open.
We're
now you're the human.
Exactly. I'm not hiding behind anything. So I touch this up here and there, and when I touch it up, I really, really like it, because you can see right now, it's some straight hard white, man. It's you can't call that gray.
I got like 10 on this side and like 10 on, so trust me, it's coming.
So we'll shave it at some point, but for now, the beard's here to stay.
Okay. Same answer like 5 years ago.
Yeah, well, I think it's 8 years ago now. I don't even, October 31st, 2016, that's when it started.
Unbelievable.